broker update. We've told you all that we're moving a Spanish site to live. The Bank Breezy site, not the David Allen Capital site, the Bank Breezy site will be moving live to Spanish soon. All we're trying to finalize is the communication with clients after they apply, all the emails that trigger. And we've got to trigger the background that our internal team knows it's a Spanish speaking person so that only Spanish speaking people reach out. So we're in the final stages of that. We believe by the first of the year that'll all be live. If you are Spanish speaking fluently, if that's your first language, I'm going to ask, and Tyler's not aware of this right now, but I'm going to ask you email Tyler if you want to look at the Spanish translated site and give us your feedback. If there's any words that just didn't translate well, we're not fluent. So we have our funding team, one of our lenders looking at it. But we'd like, if your first language is Spanish and you would like to give it a look and give us your opinion, email Tyler at davidallencapital.com. And in the subject line, put Spanish site review. Okay. I don't think he's on right now, so he may not know I'm putting this out there, but I'll let him know right away, or Sharon or Tyler or McGuire, if you want to text him and tell him what I'm doing. Came up as I was talking about it. So Spanish site review, we'll probably have only 3 or 4 people, maybe 5, look at it and give their opinion. But if you want to be one of those, we want you to look at it. It's just a translation. Now we're going to do the same thing with DAC first quarter, but for now it's just the Bank Breezy site. So know that if you want to target the Hispanic market, the Bank Breezy site will be translated first before the DAC site. It's just funding only, right? So reach out to Tyler at davidallencapital.com. Spanish site review is subject. Okay. We've got new Bank Breezy materials. They're in my hands now to give final review, make a couple final changes. Then those will be uploaded into our print shop and also into the back office. Those aren't done yet, but they are. The huddle, you're going to see a more refined huddle recipe going forward. It's not meant to be a training. It's meant to be enthusiasm with a story of the day and a play of the day. All right. Belief building, enthusiasm, play of the day, and story of the day. So today's, as an example, I talked about the beliefs of DAC for the first 4 or 5 minutes and the impact we're making in the community, how bad we're needed in the community, and why we can make a difference in our community. Then shared a story, or why Bank Breezy is different, actually. Shared a story and then shared the play of the day was to reach out to 2. I didn't give a training on how to reach out to the 2. I didn't give a training on mindset and all that. Those are all may get mentioned, but that's not the intent of these huddles. The huddle is to come forward like in a football team. You're not coming there and teaching people how to block. You're coming there and saying, okay, we're running a 33-31 dive. Tackle, block the tackle to the right. Center, block the nose guard to the left. Running back, take the handoff and go up the middle. We're running a play so that we can all grow in our abilities. Every play is an expansion move. It's all of us expanding in our abilities. So the huddles, I think, will get shorter in time, but we also want them to be more engaging with all of you. Our intention is all of you to be more vocal. All right. Especially people we've never heard of, even if it's just say hi. If you're totally terrified, well, here's a safe place to share because you're going to have to talk to clients. And if you're terrified to talk to clients, then let's at least talk in our local huddle where we're all on the same team. And, you're in a client conversation business. It's hard to be a hairstylist if you don't want to cut hair, right? You're in a client facing business, talking to clients, right? Asking for referrals, supporting them with their funding, or you're building broker teams and you're supporting them with their ups and downs of their emotional roller coaster, and you're helping them understand the funding. And if you don't want to do that, don't recruit people, right? So run the plays, because the plays will help expand your ability to be a pro here. We want you to be a pro. In my local Little League football team, McGuire played football for a local team. They're running the same offense plays, not all of them, but the same plays the high school team was running. He was 7, 8 years old. They're running some of the same plays. They don't run the whole playbook, but they call it the same way the high school does, because they're all going to grow up and go from elementary to middle school to high school, and they'll already know the playbook. They don't tell the juniors to run different play and change the playbook next year. They run the same playbook and expand on it. We're running the playbook, meet, greet, and inform clients, right? But we're expanding that ability to meet, greet, and inform clients in our playbook. We're expanding that every day with our huddles. So that's the intention. Our quarterbacks all have a good play idea. They don't have to come up with a mind-blowing training. They just have to run a play. And it can be the same play that was ran last Tuesday. And maybe reach out to one bank manager today. Whatever the play is, it doesn't matter. If you're not doing it all the time, you need to do it so that you learn how to deal with that. Where is the banking PDF? How do I email that to the bank manager? How do I even find the bank manager's name? That'll be the play that's called, and you learn it. Now you can teach it. So some of you don't know where our bank brochure is. You don't know where the brochure is for banks because you haven't reached out to a bank. If you run that play, you'd already know, right? So what do you say to someone when you're recruiting them in a text? If you don't already have it figured out, you're going to know today because that was the play. Email or text two people or email two people or call two people and see if they're open to helping you in your local move locally, not somewhere down overstate, locally. Next week, the play may be email or text someone outside of your state to see if they want to be a broker. But today's play was what? Introduce two locally, find out two people locally, ask two people locally if they want to be brokers. All right. So just so you know the intent of the huddle, energy, belief, social proof of a story of the day and a play of the day and some energy on the way out. That's it. All under 10 minutes. If you can't make it, go listen. Go to Spotify and listen. Go to YouTube and listen. We store them there at both places. So if you can't be there live at 11:30, then go listen. If you fall behind a couple of days, go to Spotify and listen to them the last 3 days. Just get caught up, right? 10 minutes each. 10 minutes each. Compensation when you relevate cards. And Dexter, man, sorry about the issue you've had. I'm glad they've got you a new link. But the way the Relevate card works now, some of you aren't aware, you were here in the past. When you get your first commission, you'll be emailed a link from Relevate to set up your Relevate card. You cannot order it in advance. Relevate is our third-party bank that does the pay cards for us. If you call the number on the back of the card, you're calling MasterCard. You're not calling Relevate. I know it's on the back of your Relevate card, but that is not Relevate. All right. If you have a question about your Relevate account, you want to call Relevate customer service. Now, if you're trying to use your card and the card's not working, yeah, then you can call MasterCard. But the behind the scenes bank is Sutton Bank, and it's Relevate is the company, but you're calling MasterCard when you call that number on the card. So you can go into your Relevate account online and get support. Go to relevate.com and get support, or you can email us and we'll connect you with the people at Relevate that you need help with. All right. End of the year push. End of the year is a time, everybody, that people are setting up. Anyone who failed at, I want you to just know human nature. 3 things you want to take advantage of right now in the holidays. 1, business owners who invest before the end of the year. If they made a profit and they spend it before the end of this year, it becomes an expense. They don't have to pay tax on that profit. A lot of them want to buy things, but they don't have enough. So they're looking for money to add to what they have to buy things before the end of the year to be able to call it an expense and not have to pay corporate taxes. Because if you made 100 grand and you don't spend it, you got to send 25 of that to the government. And now your bank account just went from 100 to 75 because you didn't spend it already. If you're going to spend it in January or February, you say spend it in December and you won't have to pay tax on it. If you're going to spend 50 grand on some new AI system or marketing system in January and February, spend it in December. And that way you don't have 100 grand profit. You only have 50 grand profit and you only have to pay 25% of that. So end of the year is a big time for business owners to invest into their business, especially the profitable ones, right? Even the non-profitable ones, if you lose money, that loss carries forward into next year. If you lose 50 grand this year, next year you can make 50 grand and not have to pay any taxes because you have loss carry forward. So December is a big time when people, especially the last week or two, it's like, I need to get this purchase done before the end of the year. I got to get this done before the end of the year. And even if they're losing money, they still want to spend more by the end of the year because it lowers their tax responsibility and they get loss carry forward. So if they borrow money now, and any interest they have for the next month and a half is lost. You know, they spend money, but yet they get to have the whole investment as a loss. They spent 30 grand on a new roof. Okay, well, that's a $30,000 capital improvement that they get to write off, some of it or all of it, because of Trump passing the beautiful bill. You get to write off all of it right now. So it allows people to invest more now and be able to get to count it off my taxable income now. That helps business owners. They love it. Simple thing that bill did. But now business owners go, thank God I can invest $1 million. And if I made $1 million this year, I get to say, but I invested $1 million, so I don't owe taxes. It helps people invest more. So all that to say, December, people are investing more. It's number one. Number two, what also happening in December? Christmas presents. Whatever your religion is, it's a big holiday time. Presents, budgets being broken right now. People don't have the money. So they're thinking about, I got to make more money. I got to position myself to earn more. They're cutting budgets. They're saying no to things. What does that mean? This opportunity. Do you know, Wade made a commission yesterday of about 3 grand on a client of his own. I think it was 3 grand. Maybe it was a little less. I don't know. And I only know that because I'm his enroller. So I get an override on what he gets. So I saw what he did and he made a nice commission. That client applied a couple of days ago. You don't have to be doing this for 6 years to make a $2,000 commission this week. You can get started today and make a $2,000 commission on Tuesday. So anyone who's watching this right now, who you don't have your retirement set up, you don't have your Christmas budget met, you don't want to have you don't want to feel like boiling water under your butt that you got to make a commission this week. Don't do that way because you won't plant seeds the right way. People will feel you have commission breath. But look at this opportunity as business owners need to invest now, any profits they have. And even if they invest more now, even if they don't have profitable, they get to use it as a write-off in taxes. They got to do it by December, though. So that's a great thing to ask people. Do you have any ideas that you could fund this year to help get the tax advantages of doing it in 25? That's a great question to ask a business owner to get them thinking and pondering. I'm thinking about it myself. What profits of DAC do we want to reinvest now so that we don't have to pay tax on it? That's a smart businessman or a businesswoman's thinking that. You should be thinking that. If you got a big 1099 from us and you've got a Schedule C and let's say you made 50 grand this year in DAC and you get to write off phone bills and things, but in the end, you still have 20 grand. Well, what can you spend money? If you have the money available, what could you invest in your business right now as a business write-off to take that 20 grand down to zero and not have to pay taxes? You're a business owner as well. You're a Schedule C 1099 business owner. In fact, just by pursuing profit with DAC, working this business, showing up to the Zooms, sending out, ordering business cards, talking to clients, sending emails, you're pursuing profit. You get to write off your cell phone bill as an expense. You get to write off your mileage as an expense. You get to write off your home office, this microphone, your computer, the backdrop, this system. All these things are business expenses that I wrote off my personal income. Right? Because I bought it to help my business grow. And so those all become things. You go have coffee with a friend and talk about business, that coffee, write it down as a business expense. Obviously, you don't lie. You don't make up false expenses. But if you're out there building your phone, you need a mobile phone, $100 a month, that's $1,200 a year. You get to write off. Employees don't get to do that. You do. You're a 1099 broker. So just in that alone, you're going to save a bunch of money by being pursuing profits. So make sure whether you make a profit with DAC this month or not, get a 1099 or not, fill out a Schedule C and even put zero revenue, but list all your expenses of pursuing this business. You get to write them off your income, right? So they're wanting to invest, number one. Number two, people want to make money and need to make money right now. So they're motivated to find ways to make additional money right now. So it's a great time to recruit. Number three, your whole team should be hearing this message because every one of them can talk to business owners now and can talk to others now, and they themselves may need to make money right now. Why do I share Wade's story? My personal client who got funded last week, they applied on Wednesday, were funded Friday. Right? I got paid Monday or Tuesday, and I forget which day that I got paid, but I got paid on it within a week. So you can do that. You start a job at Taco Bell right now. You got to work 2 weeks before you get your first check. Here, you get started, get a client, you get a check right away. So don't think that you gotta, this is okay, all my income in 2026. Hey, make it happen now. Third thing, first of the year is when everybody, and they're already starting to think about it. What do we do with resolutions? A resolution is something we resolve to do. Most people don't know that means they resolve to do it, including me. Some of my resolutions were hopes, but not resolutions, right? If you resolve to do it, you dissolve all option to not do it, right? So I just made that up. I like that. If you resolve to do it, you dissolve other options to not do it. I'm speaking to myself on that one. So, why do I bring this up? Because I was with someone over, I was at a luncheon with someone who's in their mid 50s. And you know that 50% of the people, I've not verified this in the last couple of years, so it could be off a little bit, but the point is the same. 50% of the people over 50 years old do not have $50,000 in retirement. 50% of the people over 50 do not have 50,000 for retirement. So can they retire? Well, they got to keep working, right? Um, So, but if you're 55 and you don't have a retirement today, take 10 years and bang it out hard with DAC and make 2 million bucks. That's better than what General Motors was going to give you anyway. Take 10 years and work here with us. Just hit it hard. Build a team, get clients, nurture, build your orchard here. Build seeds of brokers who all produce a little bit of fruit every month and just have a rows of them. Rows of them. How do I make more than I could earn in a salary in DAC in the pay plan? Why? I have rows of brokers who produce clients every week. Not one not one broker produces every week, but every week there's a lot of brokers who produce clients that I earn an override on in the pay plan. And you can build your own brokerage rows here too, your own orchard. But it doesn't just happen. So end of the year is a time that most people think I need to resolve to make more money. I need to get healthy. I need to make more money. Okay. I want to have more of a purpose. What am I doing this for? Look at the purpose of being a DAC broker, making an impact for business owners. Look at how you're helping them go to the next level. You're being a bridge over troubled water for them. You're being a bridge to the next step of their business growth. You're doing it without having to risk anything and best offer to them. And then you can offer someone to become a broker for free, and you give them that same bridge over a past troubled water, or a bridge to the next step of their life, or a bridge to retirement for them, or a bridge broker rows. You need to have an orchard. One tree is going to make you enough apples to make applesauce. How many trees do you need? How many brokers do you need who are producing? Why stop? Is there a cap? No, there's no cap. Acres and acres and acres and acres, rolling rows of trees you can have with this free business. And because it's free, there's no limit to who can join. And because we're giving away a service, there's no limit to how many customers someone can get. And because there's no license required, just certification, everybody is able to do this business. We give you your websites. There's no monthly cost required, nothing. So because of that, you literally have the best odds for having rows and rows and rows and rows of orchard of apples with fruit on every one of them. And every one of them is its own seed bearing fruit. And what does that seed bearing fruit do? It builds its own orchard. It builds its own acreage, and you can't stop it from growing. Even when recruiting's down in our company, there's always new brokers starting. Even when the numbers are a little off, there's always a lot of brokers starting. How many brokers started in your group last week? Well, if you haven't duplicated anyone yet, maybe none. But that's a matter of this quick. That's simple. That's simple. It's usually just running the play of recruiting some. Running the play of recruiting some. Do you know that right now I refer people off to others because I have more people wanting to join than I can personally take care of? So not always, but if they live in a certain city there's a good leader there that they want to help out, we once in a while I refer to last week. And so eventually you're going to get more brokers personally enrolled than you can support. So you're going to give them to people in your team who are living the business the right way, and they'll support them. Right. So Christmas season, one, business owners want to invest. They have ideas. They got to spend their profits, or they want to invest before the end of the year to count this money toward write-offs. That's number two. Number three, brokers are needing to make money to cover budget breaking, or they're at least getting in resolution mode and they're saying, I got to make something happen. I got to make a change. I got to set my retirement up. I got to, and you know what? The best way to do that is not by getting personal clients alone. That's a good way to make now money, but the best way to make now and later money is a team, because you get paid every time they get a client. You personally enroll them, you get paid every time they get a client. And then not only do you get paid every time they get a client, if they build a team, you get paid on their team too, as long as you're qualified for it. So if you don't already have part of your resolutions between now and the end of the month, forget waiting till January 1st. If you don't have a resolution for today, I'm going to have acres of brokers. And I understand many of those brokers will not produce fruit, but none of them will be hurt. None of them will have to invest to start this business. None of them will lose money by being in this business. None of them will be told they got to go pay thousands of dollars to go to training and hear from this icon and this guru and this person and that person. And really, they don't care if they make money or not because they made the training cost. None of them are going to hear that. What they're going to hear is take care of clients, serve client, don't put someone in a bad position, get out there and help lead your local community, be neighborly, make an impact, live on purpose. That's what they're going to hear. And if you can get behind that, you're going to build a big broker team, and they will too. Recruit who you are, share what you believe, you'll attract people you believe. Now, why am I talking about this? Because my agenda, and it should be your agenda, is to increase the number of brokers in my broker team. Because I can't make an impact me alone. I can make a small impact, but you know how I'm going to make a massive impact? How did Quicken Mortgage make a massive impact? The owner didn't say, I'm going to be a mortgage broker. The owner said, I'm going to be a mortgage broker and I'm going to have the best online system and I'm going to have more brokers than anybody else. Now they're the world's largest retail mortgage guy. That's simple. How are you going to do it? And by the way, they got leaders who work for them that built all these brokers to get paid all these overrides on mortgages because they were there at the beginning and made it happen. I can't make a massive impact alone. I can make a minor impact in my community, and so can you. But you want to make a massive impact? Have 100 cities in your team. Have 100 acres of rows of fruit-bearing brokers. That's what you need to make a massive impact. It's okay if you don't get it. It's okay if I don't get it, but that's my purpose for doing DAC. It wasn't to make a commission. I could go get a salary job somewhere and do quite well, working less hours. It wasn't to make money. It was to make impact. You're here to make an impact. I say, share what you believe. You'll attract people who believe what you believe. Some people, with everything I've said, have left. They've left the Zoom. I don't know who that is, but they've left the Zoom. Some didn't have time to stay on. Some don't agree with what I'm saying. I'm going to get mine. I'm going to get mine. I'm going to get mine right now. I'm going to make, hey, I'm here to make a commission, man. I'm not here to take care of business owners. Yeah. And they're going to get turned off by David Rutz and all of our quarterbacks and leaders really quick because we turn them off. But you know who we excite is people who want to live on purpose and make an impact, and they don't mind making a big check, but they want to make a big check for making a big impact, not make a big check by making a negative impact, right? So not everybody who makes big money is out to gouge. Not just like the old saying, not everybody who's wandering is lost. Some people chose to wander. It's fun to wander sometimes, just see where the world takes you, see where the trail takes you. That's an adventure. But if you're living on purpose, you can make a big check. If you're trying to make a big commission first, you may or may not. But you live on purpose, you will. You'll make a big impact, which will be big income. So that's my soapbox today, because we didn't have any other broker updates for you except to know your place and time, know what your opportunity is, and know how you can help people as this year comes to an end. So don't look at it as, oh, cool, it's holidays, it's time to take off. This is when the pump is more primed. Every 10 business owners you talk to now, there's probably 3 of them thinking about how they want to spend money by the end of the year. And you're going to wait till January? They're not prime anymore. They'll still start, but December is always a great month for us for this reason. And then same thing with brokers. And then the first 2 weeks of January, any broker you have that's active is going to have a real easy time recruiting, because everyone's going to be, I want to make more money. So don't wait till January to recruit them. Recruit to invite. Recruit 10 today. or two or one, but try to get 5 or 10 brand new personally enrolled brokers by the first of the year. And guess what they have? A prime group of people who want to make money the first part of January that they can recruit. And all of a sudden your 5 or 10 turn into 30 or 40 brokers in your team real quick. So agency growth is agency growth. We're looking for B2B pros. And we're looking for people who care, want to make an impact.